Today we're going to be looking at the differences and similarities between a stock style distributor, an HEI distributor, and a billet distributor. The two distributors on the left are made by Proform. The billet distributor on the right is actually made by ASUS EFI. Now, in pretty much every factory application, you're going to have a stock style distributor, just like one of these. It has a port for a vacuum advance. It'll tend to have a 2-wire pickup if it's a magnetic style distributor, a 1-wire if it's a points distributor, and then a 3-wire if it's a Hall effect style distributor. And then on the bottom, you just have the distributor drive that'll go into the block. If we go ahead and open this up, you're going to be able to see that it has a standard OE style magnetic pickup. Every time one of these fins runs across this magnet, it actually produces a magnetic signal. That signal is then transmitted to here, and then from here it'll send its signal to the factory ignition module or an aftermarket CD box. Although you can't really see it, the vacuum advance is running along the bottom here. So whether you have the vacuum line hooked up to ported or a manifold vacuum, of which we're going to talk about that in a separate video, the vacuum canister is going to pull up against this rod, and that's what's going to advance and retard the distributor as it's functioning. The OE distributor is pretty simple. It does what it needs to do, and so long as all the other components that you have are functioning, and for most street cars out there, the stock distributor seems to have a decent enough job. Next up, we're talking about the HEI distributor, and as you can see, this thing takes up the entire screen. It's absolutely massive. What this is that it's the same thing as the OE distributor, but the ignition coil and the module are built into the distributor. So if we go ahead and pop the cap off of this fella, we can see that this guy, we got to disconnect this as well. Disconnecting the back connector and undoing the 3 screws, you can remove the entire cap. You can see that the Proform coils here on top. We have its connection from the coil to the bottom of the cap right here. From there, it actually sends a spark to this little tab right here, and then the huge rotor will distribute spark throughout the entire cap. Removing the cap from the distributor exposes the weights and the springs. This is what pretty much dictates the timing curve. Different springs and bushings are available for you to modify the curve. The lighter springs will make the advance come in early, the heavier springs will make the advance come in later, and the bushings that sit underneath will set up your total timing. So if you wanted to have the distributor sit at a higher base timing, but the total advance didn't want to be too high, and then you would set a low advance bushing and a light spring. So depending on the bushing and spring combination that you put in here, that's going to dictate your entire timing curve. Looking off to the side, you can see the ignition module itself, and this basically just triggers the coil on and off. This sets the dwell time and triggers the coil based off the readings of the magnetic pickup. This module has 2 wires on this side and another 2 wires on the opposite side. And if you look in here, it's got a little capacitor dealio, and that's going to be for the ground side of the coil, which is why this connector actually has 3 wires instead of just the 2 wires coming out of the module. 2 of them are going to be the coil field wires, and the last one's going to be the ground. The capacitor or resistor is just there to clean up any kind of noise, so that way you don't have any kind of frequency interference coming out of the ground side. Now, these distributors actually come in 2 different forms. One of them is with a vacuum advance pod, and this one without a vacuum advance pod. Like I mentioned before, that vacuum advance pod was to advance ignition timing. Whether you were using ported vacuum or manifold vacuum over a certain condition, it'll add the extra timing, typically on the freeway or cruising around town, so that way you can get slightly better emissions, better gas mileage, a little bit more power down low. And then once you're at wide open throttle, that vacuum signal will go away. Wiring one of these guys is actually really easy. You only need 1 wire to get this thing going. 3 of these pins are the 3 pins for the ignition coil. 1 of them is the battery positive, and that's going to be your ignition wire that powers up the entire system. And the last wire is going to be a tach signal, which actually runs off the negative side of the coil, just like you would on an OE application. So realistically, if you install the distributor, you set its base timing, and you connect the 1 wire for the ignition, you're pretty much good to go. Now, the drawbacks, as I mentioned to the beginning, is that this thing is absolutely massive. In fact, Proform actually made this one a little bit bigger than you would normally see this, because certain versions of the HEI distributors actually had an issue with clearance around the valve covers, against the carburetors. So in order to get this thing away from all these different things, they made part of the base narrower, and they made the whole shaft longer, and that'll keep it away from any kind of high clearance valve covers and things like that. But the drawback of that is that it's an absolutely massive distributor. And also, unfortunately, because GM was the one that actually started to come out with all the HEI stuff originally, whenever you see an HEI distributor on a non-GM product, some people tend to get a little bit upset and they don't like to see this kind of stuff on, let's say, a Mopar or a Ford or something like that. But it's a good system and it works and it does what it needs to do. It's just bulky and in my opinion, it's a little bit ugly sometimes. Now the last distributor we're going to be looking at is the Blackjack Pro Series distributor by Asus. And although it is a little bit larger than the stock distributor, it's really not that much bigger, and the reason for this being the way it is for the same reason that the HEI one was made so much longer, and that's because in certain applications these distributors will actually hit the valve covers. Maybe they won't hit the standard OE valve covers, but if you have any kind of high clearance valve covers, they'll tend to run interference on these distributors. So in order to avoid that, manufacturers will tend to make the shaft a little bit longer. Different manufacturers will create them in different ways. But even though the distributor is bigger than the stock distributor, it's still nowhere near the size of the HEI distributor that we just looked at. So just like the OE distributor, this has a 2-wire pickup. And I don't remember the name of this connector specifically, but it is a super common connector in the aftermarket world. And a lot of times this is a direct connection to a lot of the aftermarket CD boxes. So you don't have to splice any wires. You just kind of hook up what needs to be hooked up and then go on your way. The cap is the smaller OE style cap, with the difference that it uses the positive locking or HEI or Ford style of connection for the spark plug wires. These are way better than like the slip-on type that the Mopars use, because those tend to fall off. The older GM ones I think are also the slip-on type and they tend to fall off. These are much better, much more secure. You can purchase aftermarket covers that have the positive type of connections for the OE distributors. So if you want to convert your OE system, you can do so. But it's nice that most aftermarket companies went ahead and switched over to this from the factory. So let's go ahead and remove the cap and see what's inside. This type of distributor uses a screw-on cap versus the other distributor that was kind of like a clip-on cap. So the clip-on cap is actually easier to take on and off, but it tends to move a lot and it's a lot harder to get right. The screw-on cap, pretty much once you tighten it down, it's not going anywhere. You can grab the distributor, turn it, spin it, bop it, and it's going to stay where you need it to stay. Especially on the OE distributor where it just uses the 2 clips. Sometimes if you grab the cap to try to turn the distributor, you end up moving the cap and it ends up sitting like this. So a lot of manufacturers like Asus have moved on to screw-on caps, and that way you can't get it wrong. This rotor also has a little prong that sticks up and runs on the bottom side of the cap. The difference is that on this one versus the HEI one, there's no coil here. So you have to run the ignition coil externally and then run a wire from the coil to the center connection here on the distributor cap. From there, it runs along this tab, just like we talked about before. And as the distributor spins, it distributes spark to all 8 cylinders or whatever are the amount of cylinders that you have. So let's go ahead and take the 2 screws off of this one and then look underneath. So removing the rotor, you're going to expose 2 things. The first one is going to be this magnetic pickup with a reluctor wheel on the bottom, similar to the factory Mopar one, and that's going to operate the exact same way that the Mopar distributor did. You have the reluctor, these little legs, they're going to run up across this magnet. The magnet is then going to send a signal through this 2-wire connector, and that's going to run to your ignition box or your CD box, and the ignition box is going to tell the coil when to fire. In addition to that, we also have a set of weights here. If you wanted to change the ramp rate of the distributor, or if you wanted to lock it out, the included package came with a couple different sets of springs, and then it also came with a couple different sets of offset bushings, and I believe one of these will actually lock out the distributor so it can't advance at all. You can mix and match or eliminate the springs altogether in order to set up the timing curve exactly how you want it. If you're going to be doing an electronic timing curve, then you're going to want to lock it out completely, and if you're looking for a specific timing curve, then you would have to play around with the springs and the offset bushings. So now that we've gone through all 3 distributors, which one do you think is best for your application? And starting with the OE one, which is probably best for pretty much stock or slightly modified applications. You don't want to mess with too much. You just want it to run and drive and do what it needs to do. You're typically running the OE system. You don't really want to rock the boat too much. And certain manufacturers are real easy to adjust the timing curve. In the case of the Mopar distributor, it actually ends up being a little bit difficult to adjust the timing curve, but it can definitely be done. but for the most part, you're going to want to leave that distributor alone. The HEI distributor is a good step up, especially on vehicles that came with broken or non-existent stock components that you don't want to try to figure out the wiring diagrams or locate the proper components for. The HEI distributor is like an all-in-one thing. You hook up one wire, you set it, and you forget it. It's a really good way to just get the cars up and running. It offers a decent amount of performance right out of the box. But the drawbacks are that it's absolutely massive. Some people don't like it. If you're more of a purist, it's definitely not the option for you. And if you're really fighting for space, the HEI is probably not going to do it for you. And finally, we have the Blackjack Pro billet distributor. This is really good for anybody running a CD box. It has a direct connection for most aftermarket CD boxes, like the Asus High Roller that pairs perfectly with this guy. Excellent for street strip applications all the way to full-on race applications. Because the ignition coil is not integrated into the cap, you can play around with different types of ignition coils, whether it's oil-filled coils, solid-state coils, high-capacity coils. Pairing this distributor with the High Roller or CD ignition box just opens up the doors for a lot of different things. And if full custom is what you're looking for, this is probably the ticket. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and post them in the comments down below. I will see you guys all in the next one. Night Wrencher signing out.